In a dramatic matchup at the 2025 Barcelona Open, Holger Rune dismantled defending champion Casper Ruud in straight sets, 6-4, 6-2, his first ever win over the Norwegian on clay. The match wasn't just an upset, it was a statement. Rune entered with a lopsided 1-6 head-to-head record, but walked onto Pista Rafa Nadal with the swagger of someone rewriting the script. From the outset, Rune seized control. In the opening game, he broke Ruud's serve with a thunderous forehand winner that clipped the baseline, setting the tone for a relentless performance. On return, he hugged the baseline, took the ball early, and refused to let Ruud settle. But more than just aggression, it was tactical precision that made the difference. Rune frequently opened up Ruud's backhand corner with sharp cross-court forehands, only to surprise him with sudden down-the-line accelerations. These patterns forced Ruud to hit on the run, rare for a player used to dictating on clay. He mixed in delicate drop shots after pulling Ruud wide, disrupting rhythm and drawing errors. Rune also varied his pace smartly, using looping forehands to push Ruud back before flattening out the next shot to catch him off balance. Midway through the first set, Rune fended off a breakpoint with a 215 km/h ace down the tee, then held with a deft drop shot that left Ruud rooted. The crowd roared, sensing something rare, a player out-muscling and out-thinking Ruud on his favourite surface. The second set only widened the gap. Rune broke early again, this time punishing a weak second serve with a backhand return winner that drew gasps. Ruud, now visibly frustrated, muttered to himself between points and looked increasingly isolated as errors piled up. At 1-4, after netting a routine backhand, he slammed his racket into the bench, an uncharacteristic flash of emotion from one of the tour's most even-keeled players. Statistically, Rune's dominance was clear. He struck 24 winners to Ruud's 11, converted 3 of 5 breakpoints, and saved all 3 he faced. He won 78% of his first serve points and hit only 13 unforced errors, an efficient clinical display of shot-making and composure. Rune, by contrast, was locked in. He marched to the finish line with ice in his veins, sealing victory with a forehand down the line that left Ruud flat-footed. It was a performance marked not just by power, but by poise, a sign that the 21-year-old Dane is maturing into more than just a disruptor. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll delve deeper into the implications of this rivalry on the broader tennis landscape and what it means for the sport's future. Holger Rune's stunning win over Casper Ruud in Barcelona didn't just shake up the draw, it rattled the entire tennis conversation. And what's become clear since that match? This rivalry has heat, history, and now serious momentum. Rune came into the quarterfinal with something to prove. For the better part of 2 years, Ruud had been his kryptonite. Their head-to-head was heavily in favour of Ruud. Most of those losses came in big moments, including at Grand Slams. But this time, Rune flipped the script. And fans could feel the shift. Rune didn't just win, he dismantled Ruud. The 6-4, 6-2 scoreline doesn't tell the whole story. From the start, Rune was in Ruud's face, stepping inside the baseline, taking returns early and yelling, "Let's go!" After nearly every big point. His energy was relentless. And Ruud, he looked stunned, passive, a step behind. It was one of the few times we've seen him completely lose his rhythm on clay. The tension between these two isn't new. In 2022, a handshake snub at Roland Garros set social media ablaze, and both players exchanged pointed comments in press conferences afterward. Then in 2023, after another Rune defeat, Ruud remarked that some players should grow up a bit. Rune shot back by saying he'd rather show emotion than be a robot. The fuse had been lit long before Barcelona. What really made headlines, though, was the tension on court. Late in the second set, after another Rune winner and fist pump, cameras caught Ruud shaking his head and muttering under his breath. For someone usually so composed, it was a rare crack in the armour. He even gave a frustrated glare toward his player box, something long-time Ruud fans picked up on immediately. Social media exploded. Tennis fans aren't new to rivalries, but this one? It feels different. People aren't just reacting to the result, they're dissecting everything. The stare-downs, the footwork, the pass quotes, the missed handshakes. The tension is so thick you could slice it with a racket. On X, formerly Twitter, the match became a trending topic across Europe. One viral tweet read, "Holger Rune is Casper Ruud's villain origin story." Another joked, "Rune is in Ruud's head like it's rent-controlled." Reddit lit up with hot takes and memes. "Rune's swagger is the exact chaos men's tennis needs," wrote one user, while a Norwegian outlet ran the headline, "Ruud unravels. Is Rune in his head for good?" Even within the tour, the buzz was real. Mats Wilander called Rune's performance the most mature we've seen from him, while Eurosport analysts praised his controlled aggression. A source close to Rune's camp was overheard saying, "Holger's not chasing Ruud anymore, he's chasing titles." Meanwhile, Ruud's team reportedly skipped the post-match media mix zone entirely, another subtle sign of a day that stung more than most. But this wasn't just about Rune's rise. It was also a wake-up call for Ruud. For a player who's been in the top 10 consistently, this kind of unravelling on a familiar surface is rare and slightly concerning. Did Rune figure him out, or is Ruud in a bit of a slump? The truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. Rune is rising, faster and fiercer than ever, and Ruud, for all his achievements, may need to adapt. The new generation isn't just coming, they're taking over, point by point. As we look ahead to Rome, all eyes are on the draw. Another Rune-Ruud matchup could be around the corner, and with the narrative this strong, it might just steal the spotlight from even the biggest names in the field. What started as a simmering tension has erupted into a full-blown rivalry, and if Barcelona was any indication, the Rune vs Ruud saga is only just getting started. What's happening now isn't just about two players winning or losing matches, it's about momentum, identity, control. Holger Rune's dismantling of Casper Ruud in Barcelona didn't just flip a head-to-head stat, it cracked open a rivalry and exposed shifting tides on the ATP Tour. For Rune, the match was a mental breakthrough as much as a tactical one. He came in with a negative record versus Ruud, but this time, he didn't blink. He played with urgency, but also with poise. Unlike past encounters where frustration led him astray, Rune kept his foot on the gas and his head in the match. When the errors came, as they do for any aggressive player, he shrugged them off, reset, and launched into the next point with renewed focus. That's the biggest difference now. The swagger has met substance. Ruud, by contrast, looked burdened. His normally unflappable demeanour gave way to grimaces, rushed shots, and rare glares toward his box. For a player who's been one of the tour's most consistent clay courters, it felt like the pressure of expectation, of having to hold off the rising tide, might be catching up. This wasn't just a bad day, it felt like psychological weight. The contrast between them is striking. Rune plays like a boxer, every shot a punch, every celebration a statement. Ruud plays like a chess player, measured, methodical, always calculating the next move. When a boxer starts rattling the chess player's composure, we get more than a good match. We get a true style clash. Think Federer versus Nadal, Djokovic versus Murray. Opposing philosophies, not just personalities, and fans noticed. Social media lit up not just with clips of Rune's fist pumps and Ruud's head shakes, but with full-blown think pieces. Where's that ice-cold Casper we're used to seeing? Rune melted him. Norwegian outlets questioned Ruud's mindset, while Danish media hailed Rune as the future of the sport. Former players joined the chorus. Mats Wilander called it a mental and tactical masterclass from Rune, while Alex Correggia noted how Ruud looked rushed from the very first point. And the stakes are growing. This win doesn't just give Rune bragging rights, it vaults him into the top 5 of the ATP race to Turin, putting him firmly in contention for his first ATP finals appearance. For Ruud, it's a warning bell. With Alcaraz and Sinner already carving out their spots at the top, the space is getting tighter, and the challengers more fearless. Their next potential clash could come in Rome. If the draw allows it, it will be a must-watch, not just for the tension, but for what it could tell us about the clay season ahead. Rune, now armed with confidence and form, will look to reinforce the shift. Ruud will be desperate to reassert control, not just over Rune, but over his own narrative. But even beyond rankings and wins, this is about something deeper, the changing face of men's tennis. Rune's rise isn't just about bold shot-making, it's about a player maturing in real time, adding grit to flash, resilience to fire. And Ruud? He may need to find a new gear, not to defend his place, but to evolve with the game that's evolving around him. If Barcelona lit the fuse, Rome could be the explosion.